So to explain that a wee bit, if you know your D7 open chord, just using that sort of shape essentially, but up here. So I'm sliding up to the 9th fret. You got that little triangle going on. Just move it down a semitone, then another semitone. And instead of going back to this note here, I just finish up with a little A major triad. You could use this as a lick, it's going to work quite well as an outro, particularly if you slow it down as you play it. So if you did something like... So I'm just dragging it a little bit slower as I play it, and it makes quite an effective outro to a song. While I'm doing outros, I'll just do one or two more. So these are kind of lines. There's loads of ways to do this sort of one, so another example would be something like this. You can even combine those together. If you don't have another guitarist to play with, you could also combine them into one part or do something a bit similar, so something along these lines. With that, I just experiment with different fingering on your left hand and see what's the most comfortable thing to do. I'll just do it once more now. Another thing worthwhile doing if you struggle with it is breaking it down into two parts. So you could practice the top line. By itself, and also the lower line by itself. What really makes this one is a kind of fast slide, so that thing. So sliding quickly from the 7 to the 9, then back from the 9 to the 7. You could even do it so you almost don't hear the slide at all. So somewhere in between that and... It's worthwhile experimenting with because you can get quite different textures. This one here, I'm just taking this shape and sliding it in from a semitone below. Go on to this one here. Tiny wee bend on the 13th fret. And down to the 14th. It's worthwhile pointing out all of these examples are in A. I'm working on a backing track just now, so when I finish mixing it, I'll pop a link to it up there. And with that in mind, it's good to have a few kind of boogie or rock and roll rhythms under your belt. So there's tons of variations on these, but this is one I've gone for here. And with something like this, if it's in A for the D chord, you can just move it here. And for the E, you can just move it down here. It's not a perfect solution, but it's quite a good lazy man's bluff to the blues. You can get quite messy with this one or keep it clean with the kind of slides. So there I'm just using my thumb and my first finger to mute out the strings, and I'm kind of raking across the full thing. You get a more vicious attack if you keep it kind of softer. It's not got the same punch. it's good to be able to do both so you can decide what you want to do given the context. I opted to just use my fingers for that. You could use your pick or hybrid picket. If you're using your pick as well, you can always cradle it underneath there. Do something like... I quite like the texture of being able to use your fingers for both, and also your nail for that chord to give it a nice dynamic. I opted to play it softly as well. You could pop it. But I think ending really quietly on that last chord gives it a really nice and somewhat unexpected dynamic. Just to finish things off here, we've got a lick really similar to the first one, and this is kind of to get the idea that you can take these and change them. You can mess about with the timing, or even kind of the note choice. Like that one there is basically these shapes, right, but missing out that note. It's the same concept, so this is to show you that you can take these and mess about with them and you can still use them. This one, as you might notice, I was hybrid picking, so I was using this finger for the E string. You could pick it, you know, when you come to this bit, if you are picking it, just make sure to mute out the B string with one of these two fingers, just so it doesn't ring out, otherwise you'll get... which is a little bit tense. Unless you like that, then by all means go for it. Cool, so I've gone for a slightly different approach here. I just played the riff up at tempo and then slowly, because I thought, well, if the tabs there, hopefully don't need too much of a breakdown. The reason I've done this is because I found a lot of videos there's too much talking, and obviously you want to frame things and give context for the lesson, but I feel the title for this one is pretty descriptive, so I don't think I really needed to do that. If you could let me know in the comments below whether this is something that's good, or if you'd prefer more of an explanation around the licks, like how to play them or what context to use them in, that would be really great for me. Give me some sort of guidance as to what's most useful for you guys. If you did enjoy the content, you've taken something away from it, maybe a new lick or a trick to try out, please do consider to share, like, comment and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Cheers guys!